Some, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Bracket throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings long drive left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolis fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins.
Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. It's hit goodbye. Home run.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this Monday edition of the program. I am Dan Scott. Good to have you with us, and hope that your week is off to a good start. I know it's early yet, very early on Monday morning, as a matter of fact, but we're still going to go into this with an optimistic outlook and think that you're having a good day. If you're not, we'll try to do something to maybe provide a little bit of a lift. If you are having a good day, we'll try not to mess that up. And, of course, you know our mantra here. Each and every time we come to you, we hope to learn something that we did not know, and that usually starts right here in the captain's chair. Busy weekend, got a lot to go over, and hopefully going to have a little more than what we have planned right now. It just all depends on a technology standpoint, or from a technology standpoint, how quickly we can get some things done. Yesterday, I came over here after church to do interviews with Clay Hendrix and with players Jalen Reed and Thomas Gordon that are going to be shipped to the Southern Conference for their 2018 college football preview. And, of course, they'll edit them and do some different things with them, where we've got the raw video. And my plan is to show you those in full, beginning with Clay Hendrix, and then the next day, the interview with the players, which we did simultaneously, Jalen Reed and Thomas Gordon. I was hoping to have the Clay Hendrix interview today, and we may yet. It just depends on how quickly the video gets uploaded to the server for or where Caleb Furrow, our very fine video guy here, is working right now. And once he does that, once it finishes, then he can send me a link and we can get the thing rolling for you. But if not today, we'll have it tomorrow, which would be Clay tomorrow and then the players on Wednesday. If we get Clay today, we'll do him today and the players tomorrow. I will also put you on notice that immediately after the show today, I'm hanging out here, and basketball coach Bob Ritchie is coming up, and we're going to record the next edition of the All Den Basketball podcast. And it's going to be the first one in a while, and there are quite a few things to talk about, some staff changes and some other things that are going on with the coach and the team. So we'll be doing that, and that should be released a little bit later on this afternoon if things go according to the normal course of action. So it's going to be a busy day, but hopefully a productive day as we work to get all kinds of information out to you, and looking forward to spending the next hour with you here on the program. Before we're done today, by the way, we're going to be giving away this coupon, or this gift certificate, I guess more accurately, to Spare Time Bowling here in Greenville, Spare Time Entertainment. It's on 822 Congaree Road. It is a bowling party for up to 8 people, 90 minutes worth of bowling plus shoe rental for free, and we're going to be doing the drawing for that coming up toward the end of the program. And already, as you'll see on our contact info page here, or on the graphic on screen, the next one we're giving away 1 week from today is a $100 gift card to Sunrift Adventures, the wonderful outdoor shop just up the road from campus here in downtown Travelers Rest. So if you want to register, you just send an email, or actually you go to the website, thedanscottshow.com. First thing you'll see for the next 2 weeks is a pop-up box that comes up. And when that pop-up box comes up, you fill that out, you register, and it'll send us an email, and that's what we'll use for the random drawing. But thedanscottshow.com, register for next week's prize, which is the $100 gift card from Sunrift Adventures. And then the following week, 2 weeks from today, our sort of grand prize, we'll be giving away a pair of tickets to go see the Marshall Tucker Band at the end of this month at the TD stage at the Peace Center, the outdoor concert area. So that will be 2 weeks from today. But up next is that $100 Sunrift Adventures gift card. And later today, the drawing for the bowling party from Spare Time Entertainment. So thedanscottshow.com. We want you to start going out there and checking out all we have to offer for you. And it's just in its infancy, folks. We're going to be adding to it, tweaking, and doing all sorts of things to make it an all-encompassing experience. And again, I'll remind you that if you want information on any Division I school in the state of South Carolina, all you have to do is go to my resource page, and every D1 school is listed there. You click on the name of the school, and it'll take you to a separate page that's got just oodles of information, including the website link that you can go directly to that school's website. So you don't have to go searching here and there and everywhere to get to any of the schools in the state of South Carolina, any of the D1 schools. All you have to do is go to my website, thedanscottshow.com, and go to the resource page. You'll see a list of my favorites there, and also a list of other kind of more national websites. So it's a one-stop shop for all of your online sports news and entertainment right there at the Dan Scott Show website resource page. The show, as always, is brought to you by my friends at the Carolina Creative Group. Not just simple, but simply brilliant is their motto. You see it there on screen. They are the ones who put together the brand new show website, thedanscottshow.com. Randy and his folks over there have done such a phenomenal job with that and continuing to do more things to provide support for what we're doing here. They are a full-service marketing outlet for you and your business, not just websites, but they do so much more than that. You can find out how much more by giving them a call at 864-250-2012. That's 864-250-2012, or visit them online at carolinacreative.co. carolinacreative.co. That's the website for Carolina Creative, and Randy and the folks there, again, do just incredible work, and you can see some of that handiwork just simply by going to my website, thedanscottshow.com. There's more about them coming up in this commercial break, and on the other side of that, we do have some Clay Hendrix for you. It's from the first practice in full pads over the weekend. We'll give you a little bit of a flavor of what that went like. And then coming up a little bit later on in the program, you obviously, I think, have heard about the controversy going on at the University of Maryland. The head coach, DJ Durkin, placed on administrative leave. 2 members of his strength and conditioning staff also placed on administrative leave after an explosive article came out detailing what has been alleged as an abusive atmosphere inside the Maryland football program that many think led to the death of a player back in the spring. So we're going to talk about that from the standpoint of Will Muschamp's comments. Will Muschamp worked with DJ Durkin for 4 years at the University of Florida, and Will Muschamp had some very interesting things to say about the media where this was concerned. And you know what? He was right in some areas, and he was wrong in some areas. And I'll tell you what those areas were and explain a little bit later on in the show. Right now, though, we go to break, and we'll come back with more on The Dan Scott Show in just a moment. Hey, everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca can deliver for you. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing for every budget, and every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, visit them at 289 Market Street in Seneca. Call 864-882-7736 or find them on Facebook, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
All right, welcome back as we continue on this Monday edition of the program. I am Dan Scott. Good to have you with us as we roll on. A quick word about Security Complete. They are my security folks. They should be yours too. Protect your home, your family, your business. I have been telling you for a while now that I switched to Security Complete, and I can tell you I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not, he said, require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling, you see the number on the screen, 864-546-0360. Or you can find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today. All right, as we get things rolling here over the weekend, Furman's practice morphed from the pre-pad things that you have to do in the first few days to getting into full pads. And in fact, if I remember Clay yesterday in his comments during the interview, they're going to try to scrimmage some on Tuesday, which will be tomorrow. And then they have a full-out stadium scrimmage, I think, on Saturday coming up. So it's getting to be that time. But anyway, after the first full pad scrimmage, or first full pad practice, I should say, Clay met with Hunter Reed, the esteemed sports information director here, and had these short comments. Take a listen.
We're here with Furman head coach Clay Hendrix following the Paladins' 5th practice of the preseason and first day in full pads. Coach, nice to get back outside after the weather forced you inside the last couple of days. It's like a pretty good session today.
Yeah, it was a good session. It was nice to be on the grass and nice to have a little sunshine. We hadn't seen much of that this week, and we had some adversity this week between practice and classes and rain and had exams yesterday, but we lifted this morning and went at it pretty good this afternoon. We got some good work in. We a little sluggish, and hopefully we'll come back here tomorrow and be able to pick that up a little bit.
Any areas, any players that really stood out today?
You know what? I kind of like, that running back group. We got a bunch of guys at that position. A couple of those young guys, and because we throw them in there in inside drill and put them in some tough situations. I think those guys have. They started to show up from time to time, and then I really think kind of both sides of the ball up front. We've made a lot of progress, in a year. Still got a ways to go, but I kind of like the direction we're headed.
Yeah, tomorrow you'll be going in the stadium 12:45. Tell us about what we look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, we might end up being back out here on the grass, but tomorrow will be a pretty similar day to today. We'll mix it in and. We do quite a bit of different stuff on offense, and we try to do some things defensively to help us practice it all. But it's just, a lot of fundamental work and just getting better offense. We continue to install. We installed this afternoon and probably won't do as much install tomorrow. And then we'll come back first of the week.
How about your first full scrimmage, 11 on 11? When do you expect to have that?
You know what? Probably playing is middle of the week, next week. We'll probably take half of a practice and do a good bit of 11 on 11 tackle. Probably like to get a couple days into that next week. For us, it's being able to, mix our offense, so we're not always segmenting practice. We'll be able to mix it, and same way defense having to adjust a bunch of different looks. But probably Tuesday's first day, we'll probably get a good dose of that.
All right, there you go. Tuesday, as we said, will be the first time they do the actual 11 on 11 for part of the practice, and that'll be the beginning stages of continuing to head towards September 1st. So it was good they were able to actually get outside after being forced inside by afternoon storms the last couple of days. And yesterday was interesting. We came over here, as I mentioned, to do the interviews, and it was picture day. So while we were setting up to do the interviews on one half of the president's box, one floor below where I'm sitting right now, on the other side of the box, they were doing the individual pictures for the program, doing some social media shots and some other things that every team does this time of year. So you had a bunch of players who were inside wearing their full uniforms and getting photos taken for all of the various and sundry things they'll use them for, scoreboard and everything else. But actually, they are out on the practice fields right now. With summer school over, they can actually go in the morning. So they're on the practice fields just off to my left, left of the press box here, and going through drills right now. And so we'll continue to keep you updated as to how things are moving on, especially after they start getting into the full practice, the scrimmage sessions. Again, Tuesday, and then I think a full stadium scrimmage coming up here on Saturday. We're going to go to break. When we come back, I'm going to, first of all, let you see and hear the video from Will Muschamp over the weekend about DJ Durkin and his thoughts on the media and the story that was written about DJ Durkin. We'll do that, and I'll have some comments about that on the other side. Before we step out, though, just a quick reminder about the Atlanta Bread Company. Where is that logo? Where is that logo? Where is the logo? I have, there it is. One that says Atlanta Bread. You asked me what I like about Atlanta Bread, and it's really too much to mention, but a few things. Bread that's baked fresh daily on site, tremendous selection of soups, sandwiches and salads, seasonal drink additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And, yeah, you can't forget the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out. When you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online and then breeze past the lines to pick up to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. All right, to break, and we will return with more on this edition of the Dan Scott Show coming up right after this.
Looking for a great car, but your credit needs work? Premier Automotivations is a professional referral service motivated to help you drive a car you love while rebuilding your credit. Late model cars of all kinds. Premier Automotivations can get you on the road and your credit on the road to recovery today. Serving all of upstate South Carolina, it's Premier Automotivations. Call Sherry today at 864-722-3785 or email cricketgravely@gmail.com.
The Walk a Mile Project is a 501c3 nonprofit Christian humanitarian aid organization whose goal is to organize, build, and invest in ways to meet the physical needs of impoverished communities around the world. What do? They encourage and equip groups on how to prepare for a mission trip, how to get there, how to form a trip, and how to raise funds. Then the Walk a Mile Project teaches groups how to build houses, conduct medical clinics, feed a village, you name it. Find out how you can partner with one of their mission trips or set up one of your own. Visit their website, thewamproject.org, thewamproject.org for more information. That's the Walk a Mile Project.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at cincyfavorites.com.
Hey, everybody. Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show. Hi, welcome back. Good to have you with us as we continue. Show is brought to you in part by Custom Corners Frame Shop and my buddy Trevor Lay. They're in Seneca, 882-7736, and you can find them on Facebook at Custom Corners, and also brought to you in part by Premier Auto Motivations. If your credit needs a little help and you want a late model car that looks good and rides good, call Sherry today at 864-722-3785. All right, I want to start by playing you this video from Will Muschamp during a press conference over the weekend. Asked to comment about the situation at Maryland. Of course, DJ Durkin, the head coach, now placed on administrative leave by the Terrapins brass, worked for Muschamp for 4 years at the University of Florida. So Will Muschamp obviously knows DJ Durkin very well, and as you might expect, is very loyal to DJ Durkin. So he had some comments about that, some comments about the story. You may have seen it already this weekend, but I want you to see it again, and then I'll have some comments about it on the other side. Here is what Will Muschamp had to say about the DJ Durkin and the University of Maryland scandal.
More scrutiny of college football yesterday with that Maryland story, and you know, you're known as a really hard-nosed, tough-minded coach. Where do you draw that line, you and your staff, to where you make sure you don't step across that line into a situation similar to what's being alleged at Maryland?
Well, I think the big thing is criticism. You need to criticize the performance, not the performer. And I think that's something we talk about as a staff a lot. And there's a certain way you can talk to a young man about how he's playing and what he needs to do to improve. You know what? I know DJ Durkin. He worked for me for 4 years at the University of Florida. He is an outstanding football coach. But he's also an outstanding husband and a father, and he treats people with respect. And I will use your word, alleged article. There's no credibility in anonymous sources. You know, if that former staffer had any guts, why didn't he put his name on that? I think that's gutless. And in any business, and in any company, and in any football team, especially right here in August, you can find a disgruntled player that's probably not playing. So I think it's a lack of journalistic integrity to print things with anonymous sources. But I know DJ Durkin personally, and I know what kind of man he is. I know what kind of person he is. I talked to him this morning, and I don't think it's right. So, next question.
All right, so there is Will Muschamp and his comments from the weekend on the situation at the University of Maryland. And just to kind of catch you up in case you may be a little behind the issue here, but DJ Durkin, the head coach, and two of his assistants on the strength and conditioning staff have been placed on administrative leave while an investigation is going on into the program. An ESPN report came out just in the last few days that alleged a very harmful and abusive culture around the football program. And Damon Evans, the athletic director, who used to be the AD at Georgia, by the way, said that it was best at this time to place him on leave while they do as he says, quote, properly review the culture of the programs. Evans said he was extremely concerned by allegations of, quote unquote, unacceptable behaviors by members of the Maryland football program in the ESPN report, and did say that he supported a full investigation into the program. Now, all of this, of course, is in reaction to the death of 19-year-old Jordan McNair, who is said to have died of a heat stroke after collapsing at practice back a few months ago. And the report alleges that it was over an hour before EMS was called after he collapsed. So that kind of got the ball rolling on this investigation. And obviously, when you're talking about the death of a player here, you really have to step back a little bit and be willing to, I think, do some self-examination, or be willing to open yourself to some scrutiny a little bit to make sure that the way you're going about your business is the correct way, and that you didn't do anything intentionally or unintentionally to contribute to the death of this player. And if you read the report, I mean, the allegations in this thing are very, very disturbing. And they did quote anonymous sources in the report, and some of those sources spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were afraid of retribution by the coach and the staff. Now, I agree with one thing that Will Muschamp said, that when it comes to criticism and trying to make players better, and certainly you're not going to coddle them. There are times when you have to get on them. There's no question about that. But criticize the performance and not the performer. Now, there are some times that you have to get into a kid's grill. I'm not, by any way, shape, or form advocating a touchy-feely, totally hands-off, everybody is doing everything wonderful type of mentality when it comes to dealing with players. Sometimes you have to get on a kid, but you also have to be able to then come back after you've torn him down, so to speak, and build him back up or build her back up, depending on the sport. So, I agree with Muschamp on that category, or on that issue, that whenever possible, and most of the time, and if not all the time, that you criticize the performance and not the performer. And I'll even go so far as to agree with him to a certain degree on what he said about the media, but only because it's so hard to tell these days what is legitimate media and what's not. And I'm not talking about the whole fake news thing. That's another story for another time. But I'm talking about in this age of focusing on college football or college athletics here for a moment. In this age of all of the websites that have popped up that are providing coverage of these schools and these programs for their readers and their viewers, you run the risk of getting people doing these jobs who are quote-unquote journalists who have no journalism training whatsoever. One thing I really, really like about, and I can use this as an example because I was part of it. Matter of fact, I was the first. But then to see what's happened after that, looking at the websites that cover Clemson, all of those sites have hired newspaper writers away from papers and brought them in to make sure that they are keeping their journalistic integrity. In other words, they have people who know what the journalism business is all about doing the main reporting for those sites. That's not the case everywhere. Now, you're seeing it more and more, but it's not the case everywhere, and you get a lot of the so-called fanboy sites who are just out there to get the credentials and to be on the sidelines and are nothing but blatant cheerleaders for the program. And so yeah, you have to be careful these days where you're casting your lot when it comes to journalistic integrity. Where I disagree with him is in the use of anonymous sources, because for an actual journalist, anonymous sources are a must when it comes to doing your job the right way, because you have to be able to build trust with people. When you're covering a beat, whether it is covering a college football program or covering a police beat as a news writer or a news reporter at a television station or a radio station, you develop sources and you have to develop a trust with those sources. And there are some times that those sources can only speak if you promise them you won't reveal who they are. And that's just the nature of the game. It's been the nature of the game in the journalism business for years. If it wasn't for anonymous sources, Woodward and Bernstein would not have been able to bring down Richard Nixon in the Watergate scandal. So anonymous sources are one of the tools in a legitimate journalist's belt. And in this situation at Maryland, not only do you have perhaps former staffers speaking on the condition of anonymity, but you have some players who are talking and requesting that it's done anonymously because they're afraid of retribution from the coaching staff. And in fact, if you read the article and you read the in-depth report, the players who agreed to talk to the journalist, it was supposed to be done in a place that was secluded and secret so nobody would know they were there. Instead, the journalist was put in a room outside the coach's offices and locker room, and the door was left open so the coaches could walk the hallway and they could see who was in that room talking to the reporters. So even in the instance of trying to talk to players anonymously, the reporters and even the players were subject, if you believe this article, if this article is correct, they were subject to even that kind of subtle intimidation by D.J. Durkin and his staff. Now, again, all of these things are alleged. I understand that. But where there's smoke, in this case, a lot of times there's fire. And the biggest issue I had with what Will Muschamp said, above and beyond anything else, and I have the journalistic training. I was a sports editor and sports writer for more than a decade exclusively. I know how anonymous sources can help, and I know the risk that comes with using them. I know that as well as anybody. But the bigger issue that I had here is a young man died. And blind loyalty to someone who used to work for you, when a player died, a 19-year-old died under his watch, does not come off as a very good look. Now, I'm not saying that Muschamp should turn his back on D.J. Durkin, and I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that you can choose your words a little more carefully and not attack the messenger because you don't like the message in this situation. A young man died. Be tactful. Choose your words a little more carefully and don't go on the attack in a public, all-out defense of somebody who used to work for you. Just because he worked for you doesn't mean that he's innocent. And just because he worked for you doesn't mean that he's guilty either. That is all remains to be seen in this. If Maryland truly does an independent, full investigation, then we'll get to the truth. We will definitely get to the truth. But I just thought that Will Muschamp was off base in criticizing true journalists for using anonymous sources. And then in the bigger picture of this thing, when we're talking about a young man's death, he could have chosen his words a little more carefully, and the way he approached that subject a little more carefully. And in fact, the route that, given the benefit of hindsight, the route he probably should have taken when Phil Kornblut asked that question was, DJ Durkin worked for me for 4 years. I know him. I know what kind of a person he is. I am very loyal to him. I'm going to withhold judgment until all of the facts come out. And had he said that, that would have taken care of it. But instead, he tried to, or didn't try to, he did. He attacked the messenger. And in doing so, he brought a lot of heat on himself. Because ultimately what we're talking about here is the death of a young man, a 19-year-old. And it happened on the watch of this football coach and his assistants and the strength and conditioning staff. And because of that, I think Will Muschamp misspoke. I think he was very much out of line, and given the opportunity to do it over again, I hope that he would do things differently. All right, we'll step aside for a break, and we'll come back and continue with more on this edition of the Dan Scott Show, live here from the campus of Furman University in just a moment. Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville.
If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca can deliver for you. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing for every budget, and every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, visit them at 289 Market Street in Seneca. Call 864-882-7736 or find them on Facebook, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca.
Hey everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
Looking for a great car, but your credit needs work? Premier Automotivations is a professional referral service motivated to help you drive a car you love while rebuilding your credit. Late model cars of all kinds. Premier Automotivations can get you on the road and your credit on the road to recovery today. Serving all of upstate South Carolina, it's Premier Automotivations. Call Sherry today at 864-722-3785 or email cricketgravely@gmail.com.
Hi, welcome back to the program. It is 10:44 as we continue on this Monday edition of the show. Hey, guess who is back in the fold with us? And I am just all excited about talking about my friends at Hall's Chop House, the Greenville Steakhouse, downtown Greenville. You'd want to talk about a dining experience, folks. You have got to go check out the Allen Brothers Prime Steak that headline the menu at Hall's Chop House, and then watch everything else fall into place from there. But the steaks are exquisite. The thing that sets them apart, though, is the incredible level of service that Billy and his folks provide for you there. I mean, the place will be packed. Every table is taken up on many nights, most nights of the week. And somehow, some way, they have a way of making you feel like your table is the most important one in the place. They're now open for lunch on Fridays and Saturdays. And you've got brunch on Sundays, live music every day of the week. And now that the weather is nice again, the outdoor patio is available. Hall's Chop House, downtown Greenville, the Greenville Steakhouse. Be sure to tell them that you heard about him here on the Dan Scott Show. All right, so the good news is that the interviews with Clay Hendrix and the two players, Jalen Reed and Thomas Gordon, are in. They have been uploaded. The bad news is I don't have time to get them formatted to get one of them on today. So what we'll do is tomorrow on the program, we will give you the Clay Hendrix interview that I did yesterday. And again, these are interviews we did for the Southern Conference website for their football preview section. But those will no doubt be edited down to a certain degree. You're going to get the full raw video, the entire conversation that I have with Clay tomorrow, and then with Jalen Reed, the redshirt senior nose tackle, and Thomas Gordon, the junior wide receiver. That will come on either Wednesday or Thursday. I said Wednesday, but I think it probably will be, but just in the event it may be Thursday. I was actually jumping the gun in my mind. Dave Glenn will be back with us a week from Wednesday, so it probably will be Jalen Reed and Thomas Gordon coming up on Wednesday. But Clay Hendrix tomorrow, the extended interview, you won't want to miss that. And then don't forget, FanFest is this Saturday at Fluor Field at the West End, and that is 5:30 to 7 p.m. It'll end right before the Greenville Drive game that night, and you'll get a chance to get autographs from all of the Furman sports teams on campus, including the football team. Obviously, I'll be there doing interviews over the loudspeaker. As always, you'll get a chance to see and meet the full radio crew as we head for 2018. David Cobb, Marcus McMorris will be there, and Tom Van Hoy is joining the crew this year. And then Tom and I will also be performing double duty. We'll be heading upstairs to call the Greenville Drive game on Saturday night as well. But FanFest, it is a fantastic thing. The partnership with the Greenville Drive continues to be so beneficial for really both sides, but especially for Furman. You got the new Furman on-deck outdoor picnic area there on the concourse down the right field line that we opened up last year, and that's kind of the general area where we will be for FanFest on Saturday. 5:30 to 7, Fluor Field at the West End. Tickets are just $8. That gets you the game, and then you can actually add to that to incorporate a picnic lunch into the whole thing. So we'll hope to see you there on Saturday. Now, let's make somebody happy. We have been giving away prizes. This will be the third of 5 that we're giving away, so we're at the halfway point. This is the actual gift certificate that we'll be sending to the winner, who we have drawn out and have ready to go. It is the free bowling party at Spare Time Entertainment, 822 Congaree Road here in Greenville. Up to 8 people for 90 minutes, and that includes shoe rental. So you get 90 minutes of free bowling, including your shoes, for up to 8 people, courtesy of the folks at Spare Time Entertainment. This is the actual certificate that we'll be sending to an actual person, and that actual person, the contest winner, is Steve McAllister. Steve, congratulations. You are the winner of the bowling party from Spare Time Entertainment. We'll be contacting you and getting the best way to get this into your hands, and we hope that you will enjoy that, courtesy of Spare Time Entertainment and Carolina Creative Group. Now, up next on the giveaway list, 1 week from today, we'll be giving away a $100 gift card to Sunrift Adventures, the wonderful outdoor shop just up the road from campus here in downtown Travelers Rest. If you've not visited that place and you're an outdoor enthusiast, I mean, people come from all over. I'm not just talking about the upstate. I mean, they come from everywhere to see Sunrift Adventures. We're giving away a $100 gift card. That will be Monday's prize a week from today, next Monday. So you go to the website, thedanscottshow.com, pop-up box will come up. You fill that out, hit submit, and boom, you are registered. And then the following week, 2 weeks from today, see these, let me get back to the live camera. See these tickets right here? Can you see them? These here? Huh? Those are tickets. Maybe not. Anyway, those are tickets to see the Marshall Tucker Band on August 30th at the TD Stage. It's an 8 o'clock concert at the Peace Center's outdoor stage. That is the kind of grand prize that we're giving away, and that'll be 2 weeks from today. So you can start registering for that now as well at thedanscottshow.com. But next Monday, it's a Sunrift Adventures $100 gift card, and then we wrap up our 5 weeks of giveaways as we're kind of doing that as a way to launch the website and giving away the Marshall Tucker Band tickets 2 weeks from today, and that concert is on August the 30th. But congratulations again to Steve McAllister for winning the bowling party from Spare Time Entertainment, and we'll get that ticket or that certificate into your hands. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. We're going to end it 5 or 6 minutes early because I've got to get ready for the All Den podcast. But tomorrow on the program, we will have the interview that I did yesterday with Furman head football coach Clay Hendrix. And from start to finish, there will be no editing. You'll see the full raw video. And then as the week goes on, we also expect our first visits from women's soccer coach Andrew Burr and men's soccer coach Doug Allison here on the show. It won't be long until the former Clemson standout, 81 national championship team member and retired Secret Service agent Billy Davis is back in town and starts visiting with us again on a regular basis. And then 2 weeks, actually a week from Wednesday, 9 days from today, Dave Glenn of ACCSports.com will begin his regular Wednesday visits with us. Made a special appearance last week, but he'll begin his regular visits with us coming up on Wednesday of next week, 1 week from this coming Wednesday. So a lot on the agenda. Again, we just encourage you, please go to the website, thedanscottshow.com. Brand new. Tell us what you think about it. Check out the resource page. And eventually, as I've said in the past, all of the show traffic, the video that we're doing live on a daily basis, eventually we're going to funnel everything there. Eventually the Facebook is going to go away and the Twitter is going to go away, and that's going to become the place where we want the show to be viewed right there on the website. Not going to do it yet, but just kind of giving you a little bit of notice ahead of time. So if you want to start migrating over there, when it happens, you won't be caught off guard. Listen, you folks have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow morning, same time, and have Clay Hendrix, among others, ready to roll. Until then, I'm Dan Scott, saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.